All right, so I am using the Balanced Body Pilates springboard here. And I'm gonna show a series with using the short springs that are yellow with the handles on the end. And I am having it about shoulder height is what you want. I find that between an 8 and 9 for me works. I'm on 9 right now, so I'm gonna stick with that 9. So from here, what I'm gonna do is just kind of go through a series, give you some options to do. And so what you wanna do is be far enough back that you can stand up nice and tall. Your arms are gonna stay straight. You're gonna press the springs back a little bit further than your hips and then bring it forward. Now, I find that that might be a little bit too much tension, so I'm actually gonna come down 1. So I just wanna give you some options on that. So again, nice and tall, and then as you exhale, you're gonna press your hands back slightly behind your hips and then bring it forward. And you can kind of do both arms at the same time. I know that sometimes with one arm it might be, you find that it's easier on your right than your left. So I just want you to kind of play around with that. You're exhaling, pressing back, and inhale back in. Exhale, press back. Let's do 8 of those just to kind of start with this. And I just want to kind of do a couple series with you to give you some things to do on your springboard that you just got. Here again, exhale, press back, and inhale back in. Exhale, press back. Inhale back in. And again, if you want to do just one arm and then the other to see how it does. This is great in a seated or a standing position. I could give you an option with seated as well. You could sit in a chair that's pretty narrow so that you could do this without having your legs involved if you need that. One more to each arm. I'm doing some single arms right now just to kind of give that option, but you can do both at the same time if you need be. All right, now I want you to step back a little further. You're gonna turn your palms up. We're gonna do a low row. And again, let's start with one arm and then the other. And kind of go back and forth. Try not to twist into that. So if you're in a standing position, really focus on not leaning into that hip. So that's the single arm option. The double arm is both palms up, pull both elbows. And you want to go a little bit further than your body in this one, and then reach forward. And then pull that in. And then reach forward. And again, really focus on pulling the rib cage together, pull the belly button in as you're exhaling, because we're always working the abdominals when we do our Pilates. Let's do 3 more like that. And last 2. And 1 more. Now you're going to reach your arms forward, turn your palms down, and we'll do a low row here, or high row, sorry. Elbows out wide, pulling the shoulder blades together, and then reach forward. And pull that back. So I'm going to turn sideways and kind of see how high my elbow is on that as I pull. So when you're doing that, elbow should stay about the height of the shoulder. Maybe just a little lower. What I don't want to see is the shoulders come up to the ears. So keep that focus on that as well. Think about pulling the shoulder blades together, getting those rhomboids, which is right between the shoulder blades, working. 5 more. Exhale, pull back. And again, this is an option where you could do 1 at a time. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do 3 sets with one arm and then the other. I'll move back and forth. 2 more sets with single arms. And last one. And then reach forward, tuck the chin in. Let's just take a stretch forward, which you can do in between at any point. And then you're gonna round yourself back up to standing. Once you get there, roll the shoulder blades back and down. Now we're gonna do a single arm twist. This time as the elbow comes back, you're twisting looking that direction, and then come back to the center, switch to the other side, and back to the center. And centered. And I really want you to focus on their side muscles. Try not to take the hips with you. So keep the hips square to the wall in front of you as you're twisting. Do 2 more sets. And last one. And then reach your arms forward, tuck the chin in, dive into that. And then round it back up to standing position. Now we're going to turn and face the other direction, and then what you're going to do is grab them with both hands, and first take a stretch. So let the arms be pulled back, open up through the chest, kind of adjust your arms as need be. If you feel any shoulder pressure that doesn't feel good, usually lowering your hands down towards your hips is a little better for that, but if you can go up to more of a T position, don't go any higher than that T. All right, so we're gonna step back. On this one, I want you to keep your elbows and your hands kind of close into the side. Your feet, I take my feet about the distance of the mat. I am standing on a mat. If you're not on a mat, you could always go a little bit further or in. And again, kind of pay attention to your hips, making sure you're not leaning into that left side. You're gonna exhale, press your arms straight out, and then bring that back in. Now what you wanna do when you're pressing in and out is making sure that you're not being yanked back to the tower. So find the position that works for you. You're just straightening your arms out and then back in. Exhale, reach it out. And bring that back in. We are doing both arms here because the next one will be single arms. Two more. And last one. And then bring that back in. It might be just as easy to stay right here and go to the next one. If you want to stretch in between, you could take your hands out and walk again towards the wall. But just for the purpose of keeping you stabilized, I want you to keep your feet right where they are if possible. Unless you need a little break, then pause and then come back to this. So this one, you're going to bring the elbows up to about shoulder height. Again, I tend to let the elbow a little bit lower than the shoulder so that I don't bring my shoulders up into my ears. Once I get set, again, not being pulled back to the tower on this one, I feel like I might need to go up a little higher. So I'm going to do that. So I was at an 8, but a 9 seems to be, what you don't want to do is get your arms pinched in the springs. So you want them up a little bit higher if possible. And then you're going to reach your right arm forward, bring the elbow back to the side, and then switch to the other side and bring that back. I'm really proud of myself because I did the right arm and said the right arm, which doesn't always happen because I like to do that. For some reason, Siri just thought I was asking her a question and I wasn't. So again, we're doing this single arm reaching out and back, stabilizing the body, so keeping that kind of hinged forward position. One more. Actually, let's do one more to each arm. As you know, I'm not very good at counting, so. All right, bring that back, hands to the side, and again, take that stretch forward. All right, bring that back. Now, I'm gonna take this up to the highest level we have and do a little tricep as well. So, when you're up there, your arms are gonna be above the head, and again, a slight lean forward, your feet are wide. On this one, if you need a better stance, it may be better to take one leg behind you and one in front to kind of hold you in that. I would definitely say probably your right foot forward, and then you're gonna bend the elbow, keep the elbow up high, and then straighten the arms. And you can, again, do one at a time. You can straighten the right, and then the left. Right, and left. Or both at the same time. So I'm going to stick with 4 with just both arms going out and back in for 3 and 2 and 1 more. All right, bring that back, take the hands. Now, again, you're up a little higher, so just kind of pay attention to that stretch. If you want to stretch, come forward into that. Now, I'm going to give you some options with still using these at a lower level and coming down to the floor. So I'm going to go to a 6. And again, I think the board is about 4 inches up off the floor. I know we talked the other day, it might be 6 inches, but I think it's more like 4 inches from the bottom of the floor up to the board. I'm gonna use these for kind of rolling down. We will eventually, I'm gonna make something else with using this bar, but you can do a lot of this stuff with just the handles as well. So your feet are gonna be out in the front. You're gonna sit up nice and tall. Again, focus on the abdominals. As you exhale, I want you to press your arms down towards the floor, really focusing on pulling the striatus and the lat muscle down as you exhale. And then inhale back up. Exhale, press down. Inhale back up. Exhale, press. Inhale back up. Let's just do 2 more of those. And up. And 1 more. And back up. Now we're gonna roll down, and you're gonna find wherever you're hooked, the higher you're hooked, the more supportive you're gonna be. So if this is not enough support, move your springs up a little higher. If it's too much, move them down a little bit. So we're just gonna exhale, round through the belly, and then lower yourself all the way down to the floor. Once you get down there, you're gonna bend the elbows out wide and bring your arms forward. Elbows out wide and bring forward. We're just gonna do 4 more. So you can just add a little arm work as you're doing these abdominals. 1 more. Then bring your arms forward, tuck the chin in, round yourself up, and dive over the legs at the top. And then stack the spine tall. Do 1 press down. So we're just gonna do a little combination of 1 press, roll through, lower all the way down, nice and slow, use your abdominals, and elbows out wide. Reach your arms forward, tuck the chin in, and roll it up. And dive over the legs at the top, stack the spine tall. Exhale, press down. Reach the arms up, curl through, lower back. Elbows out wide, reach your arms forward, round it back up. And then stack the spine tall. 1 more like that. Exhale, press. Arms up, curl through, lower back. Elbows out to the side. Reach your arms forward, then tuck the chin, and slowly roll back up. Now, I tend to bend my knees when I do this next one because it helps with my lower back. It may help with your hip flexors because I know that this is hard on the hip flexors So you're gonna exhale, curl through to lower yourself back part way. Again, I'm gonna keep my knees bent. You could always straighten your legs if you like. Again, shoulder blades pulled back and down. So what I don't wanna see is this. I don't wanna see really rounded and tuck the chin in. I want you to keep your head in a good place to pull your shoulder blades back down, and then you're gonna exhale, lift up an inch, and lower an inch, and lift an inch, and lower an inch, and lift, and lower. Now, if you wanna try a little bit more, you could lift the right knee as you come up, and lower, and switch, or just stick with the right leg, because we know how much that left leg might not want to do that. So I'm going to stick with my right leg to kind of give you that option. It's okay. It just makes your abdominals work a little harder to take one leg off the floor. Last one. Now, I love to hold this here and then slowly lower down with my abdominals doing the work. Because everybody just wants to lift right back up and give yourself a break there. All right, tuck the chin in. Roll yourself up to a seated position, Dive over the legs. Then you're gonna stack the spine tall. Exhale, curl back through, just like you just were. We're gonna add a little arm with this. So you're gonna bend the elbow, bring the elbow to the floor. As you look this direction, come back to the center. Now you'll look the other direction. And back to the center. And twist. And back to the center. Now, I also want to say, while you're here, this may be really hard. You could always put like a pillow or something to support your lower back if you need that. And if it starts to pull in a way that's not comfortable, don't do this. Because I know that sometimes the back can kind of give you some issues that you don't want to aggravate. All right, reach your arms forward, and guess what? We're going to slowly roll back down, because I just love to do that, make you get there. All right, and it's okay once in a while to take a break. And that's what I'm doing right now. All right, tuck the chin in, roll it back up, take a little dive over the legs. And then stack the spine. Actually, put those down to turn around and face the other direction. I'm just gonna focus on using these handles because it will give you some options to do. I'll make something else that shows you to use the bar. So you're gonna, again, I'm on number 6 with this one. Your arms are up to the ceiling. You're gonna exhale and press your hands down to the hips and then back up. Let's just do 2 more like that. Exhale, press down, staying in neutral position with your back and back up. Pull the rib cage together. Now you can add a little bridge in this. So pressing the feet into the floor, tuck into an imprint, lift the hips up, press the hands down to the hips, and then lower yourself down. Exhale, roll it up. We're just gonna do a set of 4 of each of these. We're gonna add a little leg movement in just a moment. And 2 more. Tuck, lift up, roll up into a bridge, hands down to the side, makes the arms work a little harder. And last one. Now, once you roll down, you're gonna keep let's keep our left hand is going to move. Your right knee is gonna come to tabletop. So you're gonna hinge at the hips, you're gonna lower the heel down as the arm lowers, and lift back up for 4. And lower, and lift for 3. Hopefully you can see that my arm is pressing down to my hip. You'll see it on the other side when we do it. And 1, and lift. Now lower the foot down, bring your left knee to tabletop. As that lowers down, you're lowering the arm down, and lift back up. And lower. And lift. Just trying to find some things for you to add on to some of the stuff that we typically do with just mat stuff. And then bring that back up, put both feet down. We're gonna roll back up into the bridge, and this time as we do, the hands are going down. From here, I want you to lower your hips an inch or 2 as the arms come up a few inches. Then exhale, lift the hips back up, press the bar down. Now it's not a bar, it's handles. and lift, and lower, and lift, and lower. One more, lift, and lower. Once you come all the way back down, start again with the right knee and tabletop. And then you're going to lower that heel down as you lower the left hand down and bring it back up. And 3, and 2, and 1. Lower that foot down, switch to the other leg, lower, and lift, and lower, and lift. Last one. Put both feet onto the floor. Go ahead and drop your knees over to one side. I'm going to use the handles and just drop to the side. You can let go of them if you like. And then bring that back to the center, and then we'll go to the other side. And then back to the center. Lower that down, pull your knees into your chest. And then you can come up to seated position, and hopefully this will give you kind of a good start of how to use the short springs with the yellow, with the handles, standing, laying down, and then hopefully I can get you another video using the bar and some options with that as well. All right, thank you.